Do me a favor. Go tell your schmuck friend who still wears his COVID mask in his car by himself after he leaves the store and tell him go like, subscribe, and fucking listen to NTTFGPOD.com. You won't regret it. I'm Archie.
I'm Rock.
Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Yo, Arch.
What's up?
You ready, buddy?
Oh, I'm ready.
You know how excited I am tonight for our guest.
Absolutely. Oh, I do know.
I know you share that same excitement, and I know that all our listeners are going to be super fucking excited too. This man does it all. He's an artist. He's a restaurateur, and he's the low end for the mighty Stone Sour. Give it up for Mr. Johny Chow.
Yeah. Right on. What's up, guys?
What's up, pal?
What's up, dude?
How you guys feeling?
We're all right. We're all right.
Man. Right on. Good to hear.
Just trying to make it through this quarantine period, so we can resume real life.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Can't wait. This is it's pretty crazy. People are going nuts.
So talk to us. We just talked a little bit off the air about your restaurant, Misuta Chow's.
Uh-huh.
Tell us a little bit about it and how long you guys have been there and what you're about, basically.
Well, in July, we'll be 2 years old. It is Misuta Chow's is like 2 floors. First floor is made to look like the Japanese Yokocho alleyways. It's looks like an alleyway or like a scene from Blade Runner. It's really cool, man. Good vibe. Awesome Japanese food. We have an amazing chef, Andy Berger, who's just killing it right now. We do an awesome sushi week. We had so our old chef had a few rolls on the menu, and Andy came in and was like, "Listen, man, you have these 3 rolls." He's like, "It's an extra labor cost. No one's going to come in here for like 3 or 4 rolls. If they're coming in for sushi, they want to have sushi, the full on thing." Yeah. He's like, let's get rid of that labor cost. And then once a month, the first Tuesday of every month, we will do sushi week all week long. And it'll be a special. So we get a regular menu at dinner with our specials menu. So what we do is we take away the specials menu and it's all sushi. So you have the regular menu, but you have all this amazing sushi. It's guaranteed 48 hours from boat to plate. And he's crushing it right now, man.
I fucking love sushi. Oh.
What led you to, the Japanese theme?
Well, to be honest, man, to Japan. I've been fortunate with my travels. I've been there probably a good, 5 or 6 times, and I just love the dichotomy of it's you could be at the Emperor's Palace with the moat and these crazy cherry blossoms and beautiful and amazing, like very ancient looking, and then you go 20 blocks this way, 20 blocks that way, and you're at Robot Bar where they're shooting like lasers and sparks at each other. But it's just really, it's always like, it's always been my favorite spot. Man, I love sushi. I love Japanese food, the culture, the people, how they hold the old school tradition, but are very forward thinking as well and take something and just run with it. So that was the reason for the downstairs. The upstairs is more of like an 80s vibe. It's classic arcade games. Got about like 17 classic cabinets from everything from Galaga to Rampage and Pac-Man, 5 pinball machines, 2 skee ball lanes. So it's in a whole other bar up there as well. So a lot of neon,
I feel like I saw pictures of it, and I feel like that would be like my happy place, like reliving like your youth and like again, when times were simpler and there wasn't so much bullshit going on in the world.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's what we're trying to have everybody feel.
I told you, I was telling Rocky, I dig the logo, bro. I'm a big Kiss fan.
Thanks, man. I mean, we straight up lifted
that. and we just have to make sure Gene doesn't say it.
Yeah, right.
No, that's fucking awesome, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I saw pictures of the second floor, and it almost reminded me of like some place in place called Barcade in Jersey City.
Yeah, oh yeah. I lived in Jersey City for about 12 years or so, and man, I'll tell you, when I lived there, man, it was definitely not like how it is now, man. When I lived there, I was bartending in the city. So we're talking, man, I don't even know how many years ago. We're talking, I think, early 90s. Man, it was just burnt out brownstones and stuff like that. Artists were living there because it was cheap, man.
Yeah.
I get off that PATH train at night after getting off of my shift at bartending, and I have like $200-300 in my pocket, so I'd run home. I won't get jumped or robbed.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna chase the fucking crazy dude running down the street.
It's funny because Archie actually used to live in Jersey City for a while, and we used to take, I don't know what it was, like that fucking huge elevator, I like to call it. I don't know what it was, but it was like a couple blocks. It was getting out of Jersey City, and once you got into Hoboken, was like the safe place, right? It was like running the gauntlet.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally, it's crazy. And now, man, it's just like, it's nuts, man. It's just like I was
now try to fucking rent an apartment there.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. My friend, my old roommate, he's still in the same place that we were living in. And he's, it's not in rent control, but it only goes up so much. They can only have it go up a certain percentage each year.
Yeah.
But they would love to get him the hell out of there because they could get a hell of a lot more money for that thing now, man. And we were just, when we were just doing that Aussie tour, when was that, man? Last fall or the fall before?
Last fall, yeah.
Yeah. We played out in what is it, Jones Beach, and then we had a day off. The bus always holds up in Secaucus, and then the next day we went down to, where was it, man? PNC Arts Center.
Yeah.
And so we had that day off. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna go see my boy Dave, man. I go in Secaucus, man. The hell's in Secaucus? Nothing.
Yeah.
Anybody who lives there, but I mean. We just get, they always do that with the buses because you can't have your bus idling in the city anymore. It's against the law.
Okay.
So whenever you go into the city, bus drops everything off. You're there for the day, comes back, it picks you up, and that bus goes and sits in Secaucus. So if you got to stay the night over there in Secaucus, man, it's just like you're literally out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And just hotel, no food, nothing, man. But so I went and visited my buddy Dave, and I came through the Howland Tunnel, and I didn't take the PATH train in or nothing. So I just came into the Howland Tunnel, came into the back ways. He lives on like 5th and Erie, and he's just talking to me. We're just hanging, man. And he's like, "Yo, man, have you heard about Jersey City? What's going on here?" I'm like, "Yeah, I heard they got this barcade there, man. A couple spots popped up and stuff." He's like, "No, dude, this shit is different, man." I'm like, "For real?" He's like, "No, it is totally different." I said, "Come on, let's go take a walk." Walk down there, man. You can't even drive down Newark anymore. They blocked it off. It's just like it's almost like a European city where it's just like all walking that whole area.
Oh yeah.
Like, all these new restaurants, all these new bars, man, and it's become this cool hip place, man. Before, when it was like, years ago, I'm running home.
And now it's first date night for a lovely couple.
Yeah, totally, man, totally. So, but it's cool, man. Yeah, you know what, man? Good for Jersey City, man. They deserve it, man. It's a beautiful city, man. I really did love living there, man. I miss living there, actually, man. One thing I don't think they have anymore. They used to have this fucking place called the Hard Grove Cafe, and we would get the pork chops, the chuletas, and it was a Cuban place, and you could get 2 pork chops and a mound of rice and beans for literally I think it was like $12, man. And I'm talking good sized pork chops. Yeah. Pile of onions on top of them. And it was like the bomb. But that's, that shit happens. Gentrification happens. Shit gets pushed out. Yeah. So some of that good old food is not there anymore, I guess.
Speaking of food, the menu at your place looks sick. I saw some pictures, read the menu. I mean, it's basically, you call it like Japanese street food now.
Yeah. I mean, that was the initial thought. A lot of times, when you're opening up a bar or restaurant, you have this kind of like, this vision of what you want this place to be and what you want it to, want it to, the vibe of it and everything like that. But it tends to like dictate itself, man, with the clientele and what they want and what they need. And, and yes, it is Japanese street food, but it's not just straight Japanese street food. We got like a bunch of different ramens, got a bunch of different rice bowls, man. These fried rice bowls are off the hook you can get them with chicken skewers, steak skewers, shrimp skewers, tofu skewers, all different skewers. We got amazing bao buns, karaage chicken, man. It's just like everything on the menu, I stand behind it 100%.
So you're full hands on, bro.
Oh yeah, man. I'm there every day.
We know you're part owner, but you're full hands on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's no such thing as like, I'm a touring musician, and my restaurant runs for its, runs itself.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
No, when I was in the middle of this, in the middle of us opening this, I was in the middle of my tour cycle, that last tour cycle, and my partner in life and the business, Christy, she was just like, she was going crazy, just trying to open this thing on her own. It's like, every time we have a son together, Jackson, and he's got an older brother, Zoe, who's I'm a stepdad, but I consider him my son too, man. He's an amazing. He actually has an awesome band called No Parents. You should check that out. Like
Definitely.
5 punk rock, man, really good.
Nice.
Anyway, it's like every time I go out on tour, it's like, okay, babe, welcome. Here we go again. Welcome to being a single mom again. Doing everything on your own. But now it's like, welcome to being a single mom again. Oh, and can you open up this bar and get it all together? And, but I mean, she kicks ass. She is the boss, man, to be honest with you. And even though we're partners, she's a G, man. She's a hustler. She knows what she's doing. She's been at it for a long time. She's opened many places. And this time it's for us, and it is hands-on, man. It really is hands-on. And, I bartend some nights. If I need a bar back, I'll bar back. I'm actually with this whole, kind of taking a temporary shutdown during this whole thing. I think I want to get in there and learn how to cook more, man. I started out in the kitchen and then worked my way out of the kitchen, but I want to be able to do any and every position in that restaurant. And that I feel is a true bar owner. Someone who actually is not afraid to, get their hands dirty and push those sleeves up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Talk to me a little bit about how the Mickey Mouse and the skull came about, bro. Because you're a man of many talents, dude. He can open a bar. He can play fucking wicked bass. And you have art around the world.
Right. Well, when I was living in L.A., man, and I started doing, even when I was in New York, but more so in L.A. because I actually had the space. New York, you kind of have to have a, it's either going to be an artist loft or you got to have a studio. And it's just like, I wasn't making money like that, man. So everything was just done out of my apartment. So it was on a much smaller scale. And then when I got to LA, we were renting houses. So I'd have a garage that I turned into my art studio. And I would make these sculptures. I would do I don't know, be like found pieces and whatnot. But basically I would take a Mickey skull, a Mickey Mouse doll. And I would cut the face out and leave the widow's peak and the ears. It was like this vinyl doll. And found this skull that matched up perfectly with the size of the ears and the widow's peak. And, threw an eye in there. Glad you get these cool glass eyes, man, from this place around the corner from where I lived. And then I was just like, I put like a meat cleaver in his hand, and it's something different, like a real meat cleaver. You know what I mean? It was like, and it was like to the point where it got pretty intense because the meat cleaver is pretty heavy, man, and those Mickey Mouse arms are movable. So I had to welded a stem so I could put the doll on the stem on this metal plate and all this stuff. But that was the first one I did, was the Mickey Mouse with the meat cleaver. And then I did a series. I did another one that had him wearing a gas mask, and he had a hand grenade in one hand and the pin from the hand grenade in the other hand. I've got another one where he's got a switchblade. So it's all these it's Mickey Mouse, Disney. It's like, the happiest place on earth, but it's like my little dark twist on it. You know what I mean? And then when I moved to Buffalo, my friend had just bought this house, and Buffalo, you have you call it a duplex, or it's, top floor to bottom floor. And we moved into the first floor. And of course, the house we move into, the house he's got to buy is the only house that has no garage on the lot. I got to, at the time, my boy was 4 years old. So it's like, I'm not having like knives and meat cleavers and crazy shit just laying around on the dining room table that he can get himself into, So I had to start thinking about how am I going to be able to still do art, but change my medium, so to say. So a friend of mine, actually, I started taking pictures of this doll.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine who was really good with like Illustrator and Photoshop, I was trying to do this stuff and it would take me hours, man. They say there's like a learning curve. Once you hit that curve though, then you're home free and you know what you're doing, you're flying. I mean, I'm not the most computer savvy. I've gotten way better over the years, but man, I tell you, at first it would take me 6 hours and then she'd be like, oh my God, look at this, and this. I'm like, oh my God, you just did that in like 20 minutes. It took me 6 hours. She's like, I've been doing this for a long time. Come on.
Yeah.
So she helped me tweak it to where I really wanted to get it. And then I started going to Kinko's and printing out posters of it. And I went one time to the one tour we did when I was with Cavalier Conspiracy. It's either Soulfly or Cavalier Conspiracy. I think it was Cavalier Conspiracy. I got to meet these guys through Igor Cavalera, and they're this artist group called SHN. Mm-hmm. And they're a bunch of wheat pasters and stuff. And I went out with them. I brought posters with me. I went out with them one night out in Sao Paulo, and they were showing me how they do it. And I learned from these guys, and I learned how to make, how to use the pastes, because a lot of people use wallpaper paste or they make their own mix. Yeah. I'm not going to even say what I use because it's like bulletproof, and it's actually good shit, and it's something very simple. But it really was a lot of fun, man, because when you're on tour, you're just like, you get done playing at 11 o'clock. By the time you can get a shower in and get all your stuff together and back onto the bus, it's like midnight, and then your bus calls at 3 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of times the crew and the band will just kind of hang out by the buses and kind of tailgate party, drinking some stuff like that. But I would sneak off. I would start bringing posters with me, brushes with me in my suitcase, man. Like in my big suitcase, I stuff in poles, like extendable poles, brushes, and then and a shit ton of posters. And then I would go and trying to find the product that I use in Europe is like, it's stupid. So I had to start using wallpaper, powder, like wallpaper glue. Gotcha. And man, language barrier, depending on where you are and what country, it kind of sucks. I had to go and buy a bucket and all this other stuff, but I would do it, man. And I remember one of the first Stone Sour tours that I did, actually it was the very first European tour. It was us and Papa Roach doing co-headline. And it was, I think the first night was in Milan, Italy. And, I didn't really know the Papa Roach guys. Some of the guys from Stone Sour knew those guys because they had toured together in the past before I was in the band. Yeah. But everybody's just kind of hanging out together between the dressing rooms and the hallways and stuff like that. And I come walking out. I'm looking like I'm going to my job. Like I'm going and everybody's just kind of stops. And I didn't really tell too many people about it, even in the band. Yeah. And all of a sudden they're looking at me like all weird. And then I come back. And they're like, yo, where'd you go, man? I'm like, I went out to this park I saw earlier in the day. And I had earlier the gates were open. But when I went this time, man, I had to hop this fence because it was locked up. And then, a couple times I had to lay down while the cops drove by. But check this out. And I showed them my phone and I got my couple posters up. And they're like, oh, shit, man, that's cool. Yo, can I come with you? I'm like, no, dog, you cannot come with me. You don't need a whole gang of people hanging out, drinking, partying while I'm trying to be sneaky.
Stealth mission.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was a way for me to, not just be sitting there drinking all day, all night. And, it was fun, man. It gave me something to look forward to instead of just during the day, I go out, go for a walk, find the cool area of whatever city I was in. If you put up a poster, let's just say, we're on Wall Street, put up a poster on Wall Street. It falls on blind eyes. But I go to the Lower East Side, it means something. It's different. There's a lot of art there. It doesn't fall on such blind eyes there. People appreciate it.
Gotcha.
So I'd have to go and find certain areas like Christtown in Berlin. It's just like tons of posters and all sorts of cool graffiti and artwork and stuff like that. So, I try to find those parts of town as close as I could without taking a half an hour Uber ride or something like that. But man, I've been able to put posters up in, Brazil to Russia to Japan to London to all throughout, mainland Europe and all throughout the States, man. So, and I would never have been able to do that if I wasn't a touring musician.
Yeah, yeah. And you another thing, you don't want to get popped overseas either.
No, you don't. To be honest, man, I was pretty lucky, man, on all these runs, man. I definitely had a close call or two where it was like, oh shit, man, what am I doing? This is stupid. Yeah. But then at the same time, it's like after I was able to kind of get away from that or get out of that situation, I was like, whew, all right, that was great. Adrenaline rush and whatnot. But, all the bands that I've toured with, man, have been really cool about me doing it too, man. Even like Roy comes out once in a while. Roy's the drummer from Stone Sour. And I've known Roy since back when we lived in New York together. And Roy's from Queens. And he will come out once in a while because Roy used to do some weed pasting back in the day, even if it was just posters for like his shows and stuff like that. So, but it's fun, man. It's fun. Keeps him busy,
Oh yeah. The shit that really interests me is that now Rocky and I are in a band. We're local dudes, we're hometown heroes. We never made it to the bigs, but we had a good time.
Right.
But the stuff that interests us is somebody that is in a successful band like Stone Sour. Where did you start? Where the hell did you get that break, bro?
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you what, man. I grew up in the punk rock and hardcore scene.
Uh-huh.
I go to painters halls and see shows. And I remember seeing my first show, I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. These motherfuckers are slamming their bodies into each other like this. Yeah. I was like, this is awesome. And, it was real to me, man. These guys are you're getting sweated on by the bands. You know what I mean? It's just whereas a lot of my friends went to go see AC/DC at the Odd in front of 20,000 people.
Yeah.
That's so unattainable. That is rock shit. But when I was at, seeing these punk rock bands or these hardcore bands, I could do that, man. I can do that. And then, as I started meeting people within the scene and some other friends that, started getting in the scene with me, we would hang out and watch these various bands practice. And then I would pick up the bass a little bit here and there. And next thing you know, man, I started playing. And there was this Buffalo hardcore band that actually got legs back in the day, man, called Zero Tolerance. Okay. And I don't know if you guys have heard the band Snapcase.
Oh, hell yeah.
Of course. Hell yeah.
So Snapcase, we were the Big Buffalo band before Snapcase became the Big Buffalo band.
Gotcha.
We were, bands like Tool were opening up for us when they came to Buffalo. Oh. Because, no joke, man. I remember that show at the Scrapyard. It's because the Zero Tolerance were pulling 1,000 people at a painter's hall, man. Most other bands are pulling in 200, 300 maybe. And this is before Tool was anybody big, but, it was one of those things where it's just let's, the band got really big and started doing touring. Sick of It All was a big, huge part of that. They took us took Zero Tolerance under their wing and brought them out on a few different tours. Even Outface, actually. Outface was a Cleveland hardcore band that ZT used to tour with a lot, man. That's Derek from Sepultura now, the singer from Sepultura. And Charlie was a guitarist, and he was a guitarist for Civ. So it's it's funny how all these hardcore people are all in these bigger bands now, man. But yeah, so that's where I got my legs, man. Was playing. They needed a bass player one time.
Yeah.
The kid in the band got fucking grounded or some shit. I forget, man. And we were playing a show in Erie, Pennsylvania, and they said, "Come on, you got to do this." I'm like, "I don't know, man." He's like, "Listen, man, don't worry. I'm going to sit with you and practice this. You got this. You got enough. You got enough." You got enough legs underneath you that you can do this, man. And I was super nervous my first show. I was shaking the whole time. But then same thing happened a few more times, man, where, he got in some trouble or couldn't do a show or a few shows. So I would just be the fill-in guy all the time. and eventually got started in playing my own bands around Buffalo, and just got to be to a point where my dad was even like, he's like, dude, he didn't say dude, but he's like, you're spending all this money on all these rehearsal spots, and you guys don't make any money at these shows. He's like, if you're going to take this music thing serious, he's like, why don't you move to New York City or LA or Nashville, where these are music towns, and really try to go for it.
That's
awesome.
I said,
you know what? That's awesome, Dad. You're right. I'm going to go to New York because that's where my friends were. A bunch of my friends from Buffalo had moved there.
Yeah.
So, I moved in Jersey City at 5 Saddlewood Court. I moved into the H2O house. You know that punk rock band H2O?
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. So I moved into the H2O house. My
great
friend
Madonna
Eric
cover, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great Madonna cover.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My good friend Eric Rice, who was the guy from Zero Tolerance, the bass player that I was filling in for all the time, he had moved there. He was the original bass player for H2O. And he said, dude, you should come to New York, man. He's like, I got a room for you. I think it was Rusty was just moving out. And Todd Morris, Toby Morris, Eric Rice, and Todd Friend, the drummer, all lived there. So it basically was the band house. And so I moved in, had $500, gave him $350 for rent, had $150 and trying to I had no job leads.
Fuck.
Dude, it sucked, man. Especially in New York City, man, where it's like you come in New York City, I'm trying to find bartending gigs, man. They're like, yeah, from Buffalo?
Yeah.
Bartender from Buffalo? Get the fuck out of here. But it was like eventually, so Todd Morris and Todd Friend both worked at this place called the Coffee Shop Bar and Restaurant in Union Square. And back in the day, it was owned by 3 supermodels. 2 males, 1 female. And the female was dating or married to Jelly Bean. Remember Jelly Bean back in the day? He's the dude who discovered Madonna.
Oh, the DJ. Yeah.
Yeah. He produced a lot of her music for her. Okay. So he was a big part of that restaurant. So it was like the who's who. When this opened up in the 80s, dude, it was like the who's who. You'd be lines down the street of supermodels and like all these actors and actresses. Awesome. Craziness, but eventually it still was a banging place when I got there. Made great money there. But anyway, so I got a job, so I was able to do that, and then Toby from H2O was like, "Yo, man," he's like, "I know you're trying to do your band here and eventually move your guys here, but Gavin from the band Absolution and oh man, what was it? Big band Absolution. You just did Die 116." He was starting this band called Pride, P-R-Y. So I started playing, and then I, got in the hardcore scene more and more, and got to know Jimmy Williams from Maximum Penalty really well, and Jimmy and Rich McLaughlin. Rich McLaughlin was playing with them at the time. Started putting together some more Maximum Penalty stuff. They asked me to be a part of it, and that was my first European tour. Was with them. We did the hell is it called, man? The East Pack Resistance Tour. And it was like us, Breakdown, Backfire, a band from Holland, and this band Do or Die from Belgium. But it was cool, man. It was great, man. And then, so I started playing. And then, as it went, I played in Pride for a while. I played Maximum Penalty for a while. I was playing in this band called Echo 3 for a while. And just things weren't like, I was like, making great leaps and bounds and playing big shows and touring Europe and doing all this stuff, but not to where I wanted to go with it. I wanted to be bigger and do more. So my friend Roy Roy from Stone Sour, we have a mutual friend, this girl Yael. We're now mutual friends. Before I didn't know her. And so he connected us two together, and she's like, listen, I play in this band called My Ruin. We're based out of LA, but I grew up in Queens with Roy. So I'm back here. It was during Easter time, like this time, like many moons ago, this time of year. Gotcha. And it was Easter Sunday, man. I remember she's like, so you want to get together and jam? And I'm like, sure, why not? And we did. She said, fuck, all right. I think we're a perfect fit, man. We did. We were a great rhythm section, man. And I wound up doing a 2.5 week tour, UK tour with My Ruin. And when we were out with them, when it was getting towards the end, they said, hey, man, why don't you move to LA and be our bass player? I'm like, you know what, man? I've been in New York for like 13 years now. Why not? Let's do this. yeah, why not, man? And then I did. And then I got to know these guys in a band called Fireball Ministry.
Yeah.
And which is more of like a Southern rock kind of, at the time it was called stoner rock, but it's not really stoner rock, man. More classic rock, Southern rock kind of vibe. And I started working at the Viper Room. Then I started managing at the Viper Room, and I got to know Jim Rhoda really well, Reverend Jim from Fireball Ministry. Hooked up with them, started doing a whole shitload of touring with those guys. And actually, man, shit, let me rewind here. Before I actually did that whole thing, I got the reason why I got my taste, and I was like, I don't know why I'm staying in New York. A good friend of mine, Justin Hirschman, gave me, let me know that they're having this audition for this band Systematic out of the Bay Area. Okay. And Systematic was on Alexa Records. It used to be Lars Ulrich's label called One Note Record or something.
Yep.
So he's like, dude, you should go out there for the audition. I'm like, man, really? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna pay for your ticket to go out to the audition. And Justin was this booking agent guy. He's booking all these big bands and whatnot. So he had to wear his ear to the ground when the band was looking for something. So anyways, I go out there, I audition. I got the gig. I pack all my shit up in Jersey City. Nice. Put a bunch of it in storage in the place. A friend moves in. I move out to the Bay Area just for like 6 months. Recorded the album, toured it out for about a year, and then the band got dropped. And I remember playing, the last show I played was at the Roseland Theater in New York City. And it was like a scene out of a movie, man. I'm sitting there with my 2 basses and a duffel bag, and a bus is driving off. And that was it. And that was it. And I was like, oh, man, fuck, that was a quick fucking, one-shot kind of thing. And it was just like, it was a big deal for me, man. We were recording with Howard Benson, who had just come off of winning Grammys or POD. And, I did my first big video shoot. I was my first big tour, like first big bus tour. Mm-hmm. So then I'm back in New York, and I'm still playing with like MP, still doing stuff here and there. And that's when the whole thing came about with the Yael from My Ruin. And then I'm like, you know what? I know I can do this. I know it's not just Systematic out there. There's more. Yeah. So that's when I moved to LA. And then with that, my friend Justin as well said, hey, man, just so you know, there's this band getting back together called, well, it's not getting back together, but it's Max and Igor Cavalier from Sepultura. They're getting back together to do this thing called Cavalier Conspiracy, and they need a bass player. He's like, you think you'd be interested in doing that? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm playing with Fireball Ministry, but fuck, man, that's like, he's like, dude, I've got a lot of touring lined up, and you guys are going to be like, like direct support on headlining, and direct support to headline on a lot of these big festivals. So I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely doing it. So I did that for years, man. And then I did a 6-7 month run with Soulfly. They needed a bass player in the interim, which was great. I did some really crazy touring with Soulfly. I mean, crazy touring, man. I think I forget what it was, but it was like 5 continents in a short amount of time. My dad was blown away. Holy shit, you guys are traveling. So, and then from there, man, I got to meet George Lynch through people. And then he had this band called Souls of We. And it was London LeGrand was singing, and he was the singer for that band. Fuck, I forget the name of the band. It was one of these kind of glammy street rock bands. But anyways, It was a cool thing, man. George Lynch is a shredder, man. I mean, docking, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was a great opportunity. And actually, Yael, the girl from My Ruin, she actually did one of the tours with us. And then Jordan, I think his name's Mancuso, maybe, the drummer from what is it? As I Lay Dying, the band out of San Diego.
Yeah.
He did a tour with us, playing drums, and then from there, man, with the whole Stone Sour thing, I had just gotten done doing a Cavalier Conspiracy tour in Australia, and I knew Max was about to drop a new Soulfly album, so Cavalier Conspiracy was about to go away for a year.
Gotcha. So
I've gotten to know Rob Blasco from Ozzy, bass player for Ozzy.
Nice. Yep.
He's got a management company, and he's always got his ear to the ground. So I got back, I call him up. I'm like, Rob, and you know of anything out there looking for bass gigs, this and that, blah blah. He's like, dude, what you need to do right now is you need to hang up the phone with me and get a hold of Roy, because Stone Sour needs a bass player. Rachel Bolan just recorded the album, but he can't go and do any of the touring. He just recorded the album.
Skid Row, right?
Skid Row, yep.
Yeah.
So I immediately call Roy. The number you're trying to reach is no longer.
Oh, God.
And I haven't talked to Roy in that long. That sucks. And then I'm like, okay, when I was in Systematic, now this is where it gets a little trippy too. Oh shit, I lost you guys. Oh,
nope.
There we go.
We got you.
When I was in Systematic, we did Stone Sour's very first tour with them. We were the opening band. I think it was like, who was it, man? It was Stone Sour. It was Ra, the band R.A. Remember them at all?
Oh, yeah. I saw them open up for Stained.
Yeah. Stereo Mud was on the bill.
Oh,
we were big Stereo Mud fans, Archie and I.
Yeah, dude. Johnny Fats.
Agony.
Joey Z.
I'm a huge Life of Agony fan, bro. That's why.
Oh, yeah, dude. Love those guys, man. And those guys, I hit it off right away with the Life of Agony guys because we're all New Yorkers. You know what I mean? Everybody else is like, like from California or somewhere else, man. And we were all just like, I drew to them. I would go and hang out on the Stereo Mud bus more than I'd be hanging out with Systematic. But either way, man, I got to know Corey Taylor and Jim Root on their very first tour then. Always stayed friends with Jim Root, man. Jim was always cool to me, man. One of the first... Oh, shit, I lost you again.
There we are.
There we go. Very first tour that or the very first night that we played together, I'm standing off to the side, kind of further back, because I didn't want to, get up on anybody's space while they're playing. And in between a song, Jim comes over, he grabs a cigarette, lights a cigarette up, and he points at me, and he goes like this, like, come here. And I'm like, who, me? He's like, and he comes, he's like, what's up, man? My name's Jim. I'm like, I know who you are. He's like, and I'm like, I'm Chow. He's like, I saw you guys play tonight, man. You guys are pretty cool, man. I dig it, man. He's like, you need a cigarette? I'm like, sure. And he threw me a cigarette, and we just kind of hit it off, man. And so we kind of stayed friends all throughout the years. So cool. I'm on Facebook. I hit up Jim. I write him a thing. Hey, Jim, I heard you guys were looking for a bass player. And I get back 30 seconds later, I get this call back, text, email back. He's like, dude, I'm on Facebook right now, closing out my account. He's like, I just needed to come in the mail here to find a number. He's like, do me a favor. Here's Roy's new number. Call Roy. I'm going to Australia tomorrow with Slipknot. Hook it up with Roy. I'm totally down with you being in the band. I think you'd be a perfect match. Called up Roy, and it was then talked to Josh. And then 2 weeks later, I was being flown out to Iowa to shoot a video. I didn't even get in a room with these guys.
Jesus.
And I even said that. I'm like, what if I suck now, guys? If I can't play, now I'm in your video.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome. That's
my long, blown out story. Sorry for that.
Dude. See, that's the shit that, Rocky and I are really interested in, like the behind the scenes shit, because it's like, you're in Stone Sour. Bro, the guy's got a past. Like, the guy's got a story. He just didn't wake up and he's in Stone Sour.
Yeah, no, man. I'll tell you what, man. It's I had to start my life over quite a few times, man. You know what I mean? Moving to New York City, moving to LA, moving back to Buffalo, readjusting, eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. When I moved to LA, man, that was probably the roughest move for me, because I literally moved there with the money I got paid from that tour. And we're talking, it was a 2-week tour, man. It's not that much pay, a couple grand, I think, at the most at that time. And I moved into Yael, the girl who played drums for the band, moved into her studio apartment, sleeping on her floor. Talk about taking away someone's privacy, man. Dude, poor girl, man. And she put up with me for like 7 months on her floor. I couldn't find a job anywhere. All these bars in LA. And I'm coming off of like managing bars in New York City.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll at least be able to get a job bartending. Dude, they wanted all the females behind the bar.
Jeez.
So then I met Christy through Yael, my partner. And Christy was promoting, doing shows at Viper Room and whatnot, and introduced me to the GM. Got in there as a bar back, and it took me a long time, man, to get to that point. But a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, a lot of styrofoam cup of noodles.
Yeah,
it was what it was. But you have to persevere. You have to do that if that's what you really want. There was no plan B to fall back on.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kept pushing me, is because this is it, man. I'm rolling the dice, and if the dice crap out, then fuck, I'm fucked. So I'm not going to let it happen.
Have you ever seen that Netflix special, Hired Gun, with Jason from Five Finger Death Punch? I think he put it out.
And the videographer was Franz Stein.
Okay.
Franz Stein. He was actually a videographer on that Stereo Mud bus. That's how I got to meet him. But yeah, it's just really cool, man.
So now,
it's really cool.
With that being said, I watched it. I loved it. I actually dragged my wife to the fucking movies to watch it. But like, with that being said, you get called to do the Cavalera Conspiracy or My Ruin. But like, how much could someone get paid to be touring? Like, you're a touring musician. Are you a hired gun at this point?
I am not a hired gun. No.
Oh, you're not a hired gun.
I'm not a hired gun at the moment. When I first hooked up with Stone Sour.
No. I'm sorry. I apologize. Not Stone Sour. Like Cavalera Conspiracy. Like those bands leading up to Stone Sour.
Hired gun. All of it was hired gun. Hired gun. I actually, the reason why Stone Sour is so special to me, man, is because it's been so many years since I haven't been a hired gun.
Yeah. And
that's what you start out doing, man. It's like jamming in the garage with your buddies. You want to be a part of it. You want to play your bass lines. Yeah. So it's like, it's just, it's a double-edged sword, man. It's like, oh, you had a shitty tour. Fuck you, pay me. Your bus broke down and now we got to do fuck you, pay me. When I leave the house,
good style.
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, it's like when I leave the house till when I get back to the house, I'm getting paid the whole time.
Gotcha.
And that's the thing. It's just like, so that's the advantage to, being the hired gun. You can have shitty tours. I mean, with Stone Sour, we, as a member, we've actually had, because I love Stone Sour because they do everything equal, man. 20% across the board, 5 members. And it's great because there's no picking, I played this or I played that and I need my 1.3% more than you. And it's none of that, man. Whether you write a single note or nothing at all or all of them, everybody splits everything equal, man. It's really great vibe. That's why I think we do have such good energy amongst us, man. We have a good time. We all enjoy our company. We love hanging out with each other, and I think it showed on that last album too. That last album was recorded live.
Yeah, that's something that I could say 100%. Like seeing you guys live on the Hydrograd loop, probably 3 to 4 times.
Nice.
You guys look like you're having fun. Like, and again, listen, the band's phenomenal. We're obviously big fans. And again, I mean, you and Roy, I'd put you guys up to any rhythm section out there. And I mean that.
Man, dude, that means a lot, man, because you know what? I do feel like Roy and I both feel the same way, man. We just have this connection, the rhythm section connection, man. And it's just like, you can see bands that don't have that connection between their drummer and the bass player, man. There's no rhythm section. It's just like there's an instrument there, there's an instrument there, there's another, you know what I mean? To me, I feel like sometimes Roy and I are just like a machine where I don't even have to think about anything that I'm doing because I know where he's going. I know where he's going to be. He knows what I'm going to play and how on top of him I'll be on this song or how back on the backbeat I'll be on that song. And it's just like, it's something else, dude. It really is. I mean, there's nothing better than to be able to play with that man for an hour and a half every single night.
So if you never did one more thing in the music business, you got to kind of look at that Hydrograd album and be like, man, this is pretty much a fucking masterpiece.
Dude, thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? If you were to tell me tomorrow it's all done, I'd say, well, at least I got to do an album that I had a massive part of the writing, as well as Roy. Everybody did so much writing on this album, and that's what I've been wanting to do. That's why when they offered me to be an equal member, I was so excited, man, because it's like, oh my God, I get to actually write my own bass lines. I get to write full songs if I want. I mean, Knievel has landed. Corey got to when Corey was out with Slipknot, not on this cycle, but the cycle before. He said, okay, guys, we're kind of starting to wind down. I'm getting a little bit more time on my hands. Start sending me riffs, ideas, songs you guys might have. And I had this song that I recorded a long time ago, and not even a long time ago, but a few years before that, that I still thought was badass and was like, man, fuck it, I'm going to throw this at Corey. So within a half an hour, I threw it right at him. And within a half an hour, he calls me up and said, Chow, what the fuck? Where the hell have you been hiding? He said he sent an email out to everybody and said, okay, guys, Chow sent me this song. This is the first song I'm going to be working on. And I've got some awesome ideas already. And that turned out to be Knievel Has Landed. Not a whole lot of tweaking. I think Christian tweaked the pre-chorus verse a little bit to bring it up an extra key to give it a little bit more movement with that. But there wasn't a whole else lot of other things done to it. It pretty much is that song that I wrote, years before.
That's awesome.
Waited for my wife and daughter to leave the house. Fucking crank that, bro. The fucking bass on that.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, man. That's some post New York hardcore shit influence. To me.
Great.
That's what that band Pry was about to me. It was like, you know what I mean? That was that post hardcore, still hardcore, but not, having more rhythm, having more melody to it.
Yeah. Will you personally write riffs like on a guitar first, or will you write them on a bass?
That was written on a guitar. First, yes.
Yeah.
But that's just because that's what I had in my hand at the moment. You know what I mean? Yeah. I write a lot of my songs on bass, most of the songs on bass, but that was written on a guitar, that song for sure. And which is awesome because I don't have recording capabilities. So I went over to my friend Mike Hadalack, who remember the band It Dies Today?
Yeah, I've heard of them. I'm not familiar.
I've heard of them. Yeah, Niagara Falls, New York. Niagara Falls and Buffalo, same 15-minute drive.
Yeah.
But he's an amazing engineer, and he was in It Dies Today. But I went over to his house to record it, and he's like, "Okay, this is awesome, dude." He's like, "Okay, so now what are we gonna do with the bass?" I'm like, "I don't know about that. Just that guitar." He's like, "We got a bass." I'm like, "Of course." He's like, "You're a bass player." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Give me a second. Hang on. I haven't thought about it yet." And then he started playing like the drums and the guitars, and I just kind of sat there for him. He's like, "Yeah, boom, that's it, dude, right there." And then that pretty much stuck, and that's what you're pretty much hearing is pretty much what we did that day, man.
Now, will you guys write music all together and like send Corey the riffs or songs pretty much pieced together? And all right, Corey, here you go. This is what we got.
Various things. Yes and no. Christian at the time when we were writing, Christian was like, "Dude, I was telling him, I was in the middle of opening a bar for my friend. I was a bar manager. My lady was a bar general manager. And it took a lot of time, man, 12-hour days and doing the build out and everything. And I'm like, "Christian, man, I got no fucking time. I got like 30, 40 riffs, dude." He's like, "Dude, I have all the time in the world, man. I'm on fucking unemployment. I'm just cranking out songs. Send me your fucking riffs."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Roy's going to send me a bunch of his riffs." And then, so Christian then became like, that chef stirring all this stuff together. He'd be like, "Okay, I'm going to take this riff from Chow. This is going to be the verse. I'm going to take this riff from Roy. That'll be the chorus. I'll come up with a bridge and maybe like a pre-chorus." So he would just stick all these together, man. And Christian and Roy and I work really well together because we're all from the New York punk rock hardcore scene. Yeah. We all come from that. We all played the same shit. So we all kind of vibe out at each other. Like, not that we don't with Josh or Corey. Don't get me wrong. It's not that at all. It's just that we had that connection. And so it was easy for Christian to really piece it together. He could really hear where we were going, where we were coming from, and where we were going with it. And then, we'd get a song together and be like, "Here you go, CT." And then CT would write to it. Or Corey would be like, "Hey, guys, got this song. Check this out." Like, we had 2 songs that were actually acoustic songs. I thought were going to be acoustic songs on the album, kind of like, Bother.
Yeah.
Which wound up being Saint Marie. And I remember, like, the night before we recorded Saint Marie, I still thought it was going to be an acoustic song. And then Corey had to go and do something. And he had to step out for a couple of days of the studio. He's like, "Okay, so when we get back, I'll you guys record Saint Marie while I'm gone, and then I'll play vocals over Saint Marie." Something like that. I forget exactly what it was. And I'm like, wait a minute, we're recording Saint Marie tomorrow? And you got to think, dude, we did all these songs together as live in the room. You know what I mean? We weren't going in and doing all this like, "Okay, lay the drums down first, and then lay the scratch track of guitar, then the drums, then the bass, no, it was all together all at once." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I got to not only be able to write this song, but it was a weird song for me. It was a different type of song. You know what I mean?" And when my back's up against the wall is when I work best, man. And my back was up against the wall. And needless to say, I don't think I went to sleep till about 7 in the morning. I stayed up all night writing to it. And then when I was done and I was like, it's like 7, I was like, fuck, there it is, man. yes, it's like such a good feeling, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, fuck
so,
yeah.
You know, the writing all happens like all differently, man. You know how as a bass player, man, the last thing I want to do if the guitar is going do 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 do, I don't want to be going do 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 do. I want to be able to create diversity and have like, you know, play my own thing that jives with what he's doing. I think that's what like awesome music is. So it's just like, you know, you always want to come up with the coolest, best bass lines, you know, and it's real easy to do with these guys. So fortunate to play with these guys because everybody's easygoing, man. Even in the studio, it was just like so relaxing. No producers like breathing down your neck, so to say.
Yeah.
It was just like everybody was having a blast. And we were doing it the old school way, like they used to do, man. Everybody record together. It gives it that push and that pull, that fluidity.
You guys spend a lot of fucking time together when you're on tour.
Oh, and
yeah. They always say it's all about the hours that you're not on stage. Living that life.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. You know, everybody in the band is a family, man, married or with kids. And yes, we enjoy hanging out and kicking back a few drinks, man.
Yeah.
Joint, whatever. Me mostly. But no, I mean, honestly, dude, I remember my brother-in-law, like not this past cycle, but the cycle before, he in Baltimore, he's backstage. He's like, wow, you guys are a bunch of fucking rock stars, sex, drugs, rock and roll. Woohoo. And I look around, I get up from my phone because I was texting with, I don't even know who. Yeah. I look up, Roy's sitting there like FaceTiming with his daughter. Corey's on his computer. Josh is like cleaning some shit up that he's doing with his like his laptop and his like recording stuff, and you know, Tooch is off like, you know, on his computer as well, like very mellow, very mellow. We, you know what, man, Roy and I hang out a lot when we're on tour. Christian and I and Roy all hang out a lot when we're on tour. You know, Corey doesn't drink, man. He doesn't party, man. He's not that dude. You know, he likes to play that show, give it his all, because you got to think, man, his instrument is his body, whereas my instrument is this big chunk of wood with metal strings on it around my neck. You know what I mean? So when I can imagine as a singer that it takes a lot out of you.
Oh God.
So he, you know,
and he doesn't fucking sit still either.
No, for sure, man. So he'll go he'll take a shower, do his thing, go to the bus, eat his food for the night, and then kind of hang out for a little bit, watch some TV, or, you know, go to bed and chill and watch some TV. But, you know, Roy and I will kind of take our time, you know, get in the shower, do our thing, get everything to the bus, and all right, where are we going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are we doing? We going to the crew bus, or, oh, there's a bar around the corner? Let's go. You know, hang out, have a couple. Christian will come with us too, but none of us were partiers like crazy, dude. Like, you know, where are the girls? Where are the strippers?
So you're saying it's not Motley Crue, Circuit 88?
No, it's far from it, man. It really is, dude. If people really knew, like, they'd be like, oh, man, I'm so disappointed in you guys. I thought you guys were so much cooler. But we think we are cool. We think that's cool. You know, we enjoy it, man. I just enjoy, we'll have nights where we just all go to the bus, man, and we're just shooting the shit, listening to fucking cool music or watching a cool movie, anything, you know, stuff like that, man.
So Corey and Josh are obviously like lifelong friends, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What's the dynamic like? So like, and I feel like, listen, I've been a lifelong Stone Sour fan, right? Since their first album. But I feel like, you know, Roy joins, then you join, then Christian joins. It's, again, like I said before, it seems like way more fun now, and it seems like just a different dynamic than you've seen in the past. No, you know, no disrespect to any past members, they put out awesome fucking music, right? But I mean, it feels like it a band doesn't usually hit their apex, you know, a couple albums in usually, you know. So, but
right.
That's kind of what I feel like you guys are doing.
Right on, man. Well, thank you. Yeah, I you know, it's Josh and Corey have a great relationship. Like you said, they've been best friends, you know. Like Corey says that every night on stage when he's introduced us. And my best friend for 15 years, you know, Mr. Josh Rand. And or not 15 years, since I was 15. You know, he's they almost have this, like, they can talk to each other telepathically. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm not saying certain things and just understanding it is almost quicker to and easier to understand than it is if they're actually talking it out. If that sounds weird to you.
No, I get it.
I don't know how to say it, but you know, they're just such great friends. They know what they're doing with each other. They have such great respect for each other. And, you know, if somebody needs a little bit of time off like Josh does, Corey's not going to fucking be like, yo, fuck you, this sucks. You got to be out here, this and that. Yeah. You know, Josh had to take a break. He had to step away for a little bit on that one tour. And we were all understandable, man. And Corey would say that every night. You know, I know you guys know that Josh is not here, but our brother is there out. You know, he's making himself better. And that's the most important thing, you know. And nobody's pissed at him. You know, Corey wasn't like, what the fuck, Josh, you know. We're all human, man. We're all human. We all need to, like, you know, make sure that we keep ourselves in the best possible way that we can keep ourselves. Because on tour, it's easy to be in the worst possible way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Hydrograd tour, right?
Yep.
Were there any songs that you thought that were like, you want to know what? I can't wait till we play these live. They're gonna fucking crush it.
Yeah.
But that maybe didn't go over well. Not that obviously they're going to go over well, you guys, but didn't get the response that you wanted. And then vice versa. Some songs you're like, yeah, this might be a filler, but you want to know what? It fucking killed tonight. Were there any?
Right. I'll tell you what, dude. I mean, to be honest with you, man, this band, our set list is the killer set list, man, because Stone Sour does have so many great songs.
Yeah.
From before I wasn't even in the band, you know, from, you know, the very first album all the way up until Hydrograd. And I think it's none of them were like, oh man, I can't believe nobody was into that song. We hadn't really like, you know, I guess it would be I'd have to really pick apart the set list, but I don't think there was really any songs where it was like, oh, this is a bummer. They weren't even psyched on that. It was actually more about like, oh my god, those people went fucking nuts, holy shit, you know. When we play Fabulous, which is usually the closer on Hydrograd, and the Wacky Wavy guys,
inflatable two men.
I mean, we all knew it was a great song. We all knew it was going to be an awesome song, man. But that is like everybody's just going nuts on that song, and it's just like it was such a great crowd response on most of the on all the stuff, man. To be honest with you, and even on the old stuff, because everybody knows the old stuff, and we're singing along to the old stuff. So it's like it was never a bummer, man. And I'm pretty fortunate to say that. Not too many bands can say that.
No. With some of the newer material, did Corey lay down some vocals and immediately you were like, oh shit, that's it?
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. I mean, I felt that on quite a few of the songs. Even my song, Knievel Has Landed, like that's the one song that I wrote wholly. That was like my you know, to me, I didn't know what the fucking lyric, like what the vocal melody would be like over that. I'm not a singer. I can't, I don't think that way, man.
Gotcha.
So to hear that, I was just like, oh shit. Damn, dude. Wow. I thought that song was cool before. This shit is fucking awesome, man. And he does that quite often, man. He's got a real talent, man. He's extremely talented, man. Everybody that I'm playing with is extremely talented, and I'm fortunate to be here.
There are no slouches in Stone Sour. They're all fucking musicians. All.
Right. Yeah. I feel that, man. Like it's great. I feel like when you play to people that you like, so mentally, I feel these guys, I always feel like, oh man, I suck at playing bass, you know, but playing with these dudes at the talent level that these guys are pushes me to be at the talent level that I guess I'm at. I don't know.
You are. Because spoiler alert, you are.
well, thanks. I've never thought that, man. I'm just a fucking hardcore kid, man. A punk rock kid. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's nice to hear that, man. I've never had, you know, I guess, I don't know, man. It is what it is, and I appreciate that. But that playing with them definitely keeps me on my game. It keeps me sharp and on top of things, man.
So I wanted to say this. I was talking to Rocky about this earlier today. So Stone Sour for me, and I'll keep it brief. Birthday band. I saw you on my birthday. My wife got me tickets. Terminal 5.
Nice. I remember. Was this just
2013?
Like, Yep.
Okay. So then she gets me.
That was with Papa Roach, no?
I don't think that. I don't think they were there that because I would have remembered if Papa Roach.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I forget what store that was, but I remember because that's all the way on the west side.
Yep.
I had my kid with me on tour, and me and Roy went to the store, and my kid had a scooter, and it was so freaking cold that day. When we were coming back, his hands were so cold, he was crying. He was bawling, dude. Oh. And I'm like, oh, my God. Because I didn't bring his gloves. I'm like, oh, my God, dude, don't tell your mother. Don't tell your mother I forgot your gloves. Like, he was bawling because his hands hurt so bad.
Yeah.
So I remember that show. But anyway, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, all good. Terminal 5. So my wife was nice enough to get me Sheppard tickets. Okay.
Oh, nice.
For 2018, I think it was, right? When you guys were on?
Yep.
We found out she was pregnant, and she said, listen, I'm not going to ruin this for you.
Right.
Ask your schmuck friend Rocco over there.
Yeah.
So long story short, we go to Shiprock. We had the time of our lives. Fucking Black Label, POD, you guys. It was fucking phenomenal in this moment.
It was a fun one.
That was fucking phenomenal. So we got to see you. It was either the last night or second to last night, and it was you were on the main stage,
side stage,
and we were on your side.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys played your set, and you
got to see the good side.
That was the good side.
Yes. Yeah. The great side.
So you guys played your set, and I think you did maybe a 5-minute, intermission real quick, run off real quick, probably towel down or whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
So Roy hits the drums.
Maybe a bathroom break.
That's what Josh does.
Have a cigarette. Roy hits the drums, and the crowd starts here, right? Here they come. So you come back to your spot to get your bass, and your bass tech goes to the other side of the stage.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So then your bass tech runs around back, and you go to the other side of the stage. Bro, let me just tell you, Rocky and I, because I mentioned, we've played in bands, and we've obviously not your level, but we've had so many fuck ups and so much shit go wrong.
Right.
I'm like, Rock, look. I'm like,
it was like a Spinal Tap moment.
What the fuck is gonna happen? But you did make it. You fucking came in. It was good to see, even at that level. I get to see the shit that happens to us, bro.
Oh, dude. It doesn't matter what level you're at. There's always going to be that time, that fuck up, those fuck ups, those times, because they happen. Because you know what? We're all human, and just because you're at that level, there's a standard that people set. As far as some of these musicians are you have to perform like this, and if you do not perform like this, you will have somebody else take your position. So you have to be on point. But it's just at the same time, hey man, we're all human. Each guys, we're playing rock and roll. We're not trying to launch the satellite here. You know what I'm saying? It's just come on. It is what it is. People fuck up. It's fucking rock and roll. And you know what? I think people kind of like the human side of that, man.
Of course.
I know when I get to see a fuck up or some weird shit like you're saying right now. Oh, look at that. Them too, huh? You know what I mean? So I get that. I totally get why you saw that. It sticks out in your head.
It's super relatable. It was funny. I mean, it wasn't funny for you at the time because you look like Archie said, you wanted to eat your bass at the moment. but no, dude, it's relatable because that's the shit that happens. It
is.
And I think what I love about you guys is that, especially on this tour cycle, and I saw about 4 shows. It's you guys are tremendous musicians, but don't take yourselves super seriously. I love fucking heavy music. Arch loves heavy music. Right. You guys you come out to I don't know, it's a game show intro. Then you have the wacky waving inflatable arm tube men. It's so much fucking fun.
You have to keep it fun, man. And Corey has even done little speeches about, not little speeches, but he'll have a little setup to songs about just it's come on, guys. This is where we're able to get away from all the seriousness.
Yeah.
This is life is so serious. You got these jobs, you got these fucking bills, you got these responsibilities, you have kids you need to take care of, you have this and that or whatever it may be, man. And to get that break for like an hour and a half. Oh, I'm going to see my this band, or, this world is so fucking serious. Like, this is where we get to get away from that. This is why we're doing this. This is why most people attract to this, is because they want to get away. Exactly. They want to just like leave all that for a little bit, man, and just fucking have fun, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. That's what life's about. Can't be all serious.
Hell yeah.
Well, Chow, Rocky and I really respect your musicianship, your point, your outlook on life.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, brother.
And I know that him and I, when this bullshit's done, we're gonna make a little trip, and we're definitely gonna come up to the restaurant.
Dude, please come up to the restaurant. Couple beers on me.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Absolutely, I'd appreciate that.
You stand up, dude. Again, we can't say enough about you, your band. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy, hectic day and chatting with us.
Of course, man. Of course. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on, man. It's a lot of fun. And, you guys get bored sometime in the near future, you want to do it again, let me know, man.
Well, you want to know what? Fucking next time we'll come up to you and do it.
Yeah.
How about that, man?
We have mobile capabilities. So when all this shit blows over, we want to do it live from your restaurant.
Dude, that would be bomb. Let's do that, man.
Fuck yeah.
That would be awesome. Oh, and one last thing. I don't mean to do a plug, but I have to.
Oh, please plug whatever you got, my man.
Just because, all of our employees, or half of our employees can't even get on unemployment because the sites are down and the phones are jammed up. So we're trying to sell merch to like get these guys into their, some money into our employees' pockets. So go to MISUTACHOWS.com, buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, gift card. We are definitely helping out our staff with cash from the proceeds. So it would mean a lot to them, mean a lot to me. And I've got like 30 plus employees that we have, and we call them our kids, and we just want to look out for our kids.
Well said. We are going to blast that over our social media. Absolutely, bro.
Thank you, man.
Everyone go there when you can. I'm going to buy a t-shirt. Archie's going to buy one because he likes the KISS logo.
You got these Misuta Chow's hats in.
I'm getting the hat.
Pretty
nice.
Fresh. Yeah.
Listen, brother, we can't thank you enough. You're a great dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys.
We're super grateful. So, everybody, the great Johny Chow. Peace out, brother. Stay well.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you.
Later.
Be good. Later, guys.
Such a dope interview from a cool dude in an awesome band. We wish Chow the best of luck writing, touring in the future, and especially with Misuta Chow's. Now, this interview was recorded a couple weeks into quarantine. Misuta Chow's hours have changed and are now open Wednesday 5 to 12 midnight, Thursday 5 to 12 midnight, and Friday 5 to 12 midnight. Go to MisutaChows.com. That's MISUTACHOWS.com. Find out all the information, their food menu, their hours of operation, order online, their merch. Like he said, I can't say enough, but I will say one more thing. If you're up late with no date and you can't find one female or male to fornicate, then listen to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast. We out.